Well, hello. All right. Welcome to my second live stream here on Crocheting into Retirement. I am going to finish this mystery thing. What is it? All right, so let me get started on it. And I'm probably not going to talk too much. You can just watch me kind of rolling this up. And probably guess what it's going to be. It is a crochet flower. I think it took me about, I don't know, maybe an hour to crochet it. Maybe an hour and a half. I don't remember. And, all right, here's the back. Here's the front. And I already started working on it, so that's why it's called finishing project. So I'm going to do that right now. If you have any comments or questions, put that on there. I cannot see my screen, so I'm going to put these on. And all right. And I'm going to take those. Oh, I'll leave them out for now. Anyway, sometimes finishing a project takes longer than creating it, but there is some satisfaction in actually getting something completely done. I made this just to keep my hands busy while I was in class, substituting in computer science. Computer science is, there wasn't much for me to do. Anyway. All right, so what I'm doing is I am going back and forth through all the different layers. This is a green yarn that matches this up here. It looks blue on camera, which is weird. I'm going through all these layers so that this does not unravel anytime soon. And welcome, one person who's here. I am finishing up this crochet flower. It's pretty big, as you can see, compared to my hand. Anyway, when I'm done with this flower, I'm going to be doing something else. Here it is. A lot of times these patterns ask you to just start right on this row. I like to put another couple rows down here so that it makes it easier to weave together at the end without compromising the flower in the front. Now, what would I do with this? I would give it to someone to put on their desk. I don't know. It's just a nice little project to do. And I am almost done with this one piece of yarn at the end. And because it's the back, it doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be super neat. You could also put this on a stick and make it a, flower on a stick. I don't know how to actually do that right now. Okay, so that's that. And I'm going to thread another thing of green on. Yes, I know it looks like blue, but that is just the computer. So I'm using a tapestry hook. Doesn't really have to be too pointy. And threading it on. It's a gorgeous day here in Phoenix. Looks gorgeous, and then you go outside, and it is very hot. Let's see, some kind of something. Don't want it. There you go. All right, so I'm not even gonna really anchor this on because this is probably going to go on the wall over here as a decoration as I decorate my little studio. I say studio, but it's my living room. And yeah, I would show you more of my living room, but I can't because my screen is locked per YouTube. And yes, all right, so we are going to move on to, oops, wait a minute, let me pop this over here. If you make these with a smaller hook and smaller yarn, it takes about the same amount of time. It took me, like I said, about an hour. But if you make it with something smaller, you could put this on the back of a finding to make a pin for somebody, or you could put it on a string and you can hang it. So, yep, I made it in green because it was the only yarn that I had that day. All right, next up for finishing is this sad little rabbit guy that I made. I forgot about a long time ago. I don't like his face. I put his eyes in the wrong spot and his little nose is coming apart. So I'm just going to weave in his ears. And amigurumi is a fun little project to make. They don't take that long if you don't change colors. And it is, it's nice because at the end you have a little friend that you can play with. So this little rabbit was inspired by a toy that I received when I was about, I don't know, about 5 or 6 from one of my brothers, actually from my brother Matt. And it was my favorite toy. And he was loved to death. And I still have him somewhere safe, but he is very fragile. So I thought I'd make another little mini one. And yes, it was this green color. It's kind of funny. So when I got into amigurumi, I really wanted to be a purist and not use any kind of thread to sew stuff on, which I'm going to get away from now. Well, not on this one. This one I am using the yarn, and I did leave enough on here to sew it on. The ear is not stuffed, and I think that makes it more fun. You could also put in a pipe cleaner, as we used to call them. I don't know what they're called now, fuzzy sticks, something, but we used to call them pipe cleaners because they were actually made for pipes cleaning. And I see comments coming in. I can't really read the comments. And let me see, turn my head sideways. Oh, hi. Can you do a frog? I can do a frog. I don't have a frog with me, but I do have this lovely turtle that I made. And I don't have any frogs. I could easily do a frog. I can't do a frog right now. But here is my little tortuga. And look how tiny those stitches are. This is one of the first amigurumis I made, and it was challenging because the pattern was in Spanish, and it was about 10 years ago, and YouTube did not offer translation, so it was really hard. I do not speak Spanish. And then you can see the size of the needle, the size of the stitches compared to the little rabbit guy here. So, and hi to Abigail. Yeah, keep that under advisement for doing a frog. If you, if you like this kind of stuff, you can subscribe. This is what I plan on doing pretty much all summer as I'm on vacation. I am a substitute teacher, and we are off for the summer, and it is just way too hot outside for me to work. That's kind of a joke, but I don't like going out in the heat. It's too much. So I usually take off the summer. And my goal now is to just kind of do this kind of YouTube channel. Oh, all right. Well, somebody left. That's all right. That's okay. Maybe they don't want to see how the bunny's going to end up. Look at his little tail. Oh, that's front. Look at his little tail. Where did his tail go? Did his tail fall off? Oh, no, the tail's on this one. All right, this one is another little rabbit guy that I put this tail on. Look how cute that is. Cute tail. And his ears are different. His ears are not stuffed. You can kind of play around with them. And yeah. All right, anyway. If you want, you can ask me some questions in the comments. That would be pretty cool. But just going to finish him up by weaving in these ends. Ouch. Hurt myself a little bit. And I did make a couple of little voodoo dolls, which were fun, but those were given away as gifts. I tend to give away a lot of the stuff that I make once it's finished. So, yeah. Anyway, almost done with that. So we have his ears look like they're done, so now they're all perky and up. Hello. So I'm going to snip the string, not the string, slip the yarn off here. And I like to save this yarn because I like to use it for stuffing other amigurumis if I use the same color yarn, because, or even him, because his legs need to be stuffed too. Because sometimes when you use that polyfill, the fluffy stuff, it kind of comes right through and you can see the stuffing on the inside, and I don't like that. So this way, if you see inside, you're going to see the same color, so that's nice. All right, so this amigurumi was constructed from the top down, from his head. And then I came down, I did his neck, then I came down and did one leg. Then I had to finish his leg by casting on or adding on here. And then his ears and his arms were made separately and then sewn on. And this was made before I learned how to crochet it right onto the body to make it more stable. So, all right, let's see. We lost somebody else, and I don't know if this is the same person who's been on or not, so I'm going to repeat myself. If you're here right now, all I'm doing is working on some stuff, finishing up some projects. I finished up this beautiful rose. And now I'm working on this little rabbit guy, just sewing on his arms so they don't fall off, because how sad if your little arm falls off. And I want to sew it on real nice so that if the person who gets this decides they want to play with it, you won't rip his arms off too easily. And I'm sewing him on with yarn, obviously, so that you can't really see the stitches. So, all right. Ugh. Oh, no, nobody's here. That's all right. That's okay. Got my little friend here. All right, where is this at? All right, so we need a few more stitches to secure him. He's going to say, hello. Hello, person who just joined. Hello. And yes. Okay. So amigurumi is a fun activity that you can do. It's pretty, I don't know, it's pretty easy if you don't change colors. Like I said, once you change colors, then it gets a little bit harder. And there's some really pretty cool, easy, free patterns that you could find to make your own. And I'm going to actually pull now, use my crochet hook, and I'm going to go up between his legs. This isn't stitched yet. Oh my God. I'm going to go up through here and I'm just going to pull these yarn strands in to add to the stuffing. And, okay. And you can also put this on a popsicle stick or some kind of craft stick and turn it into a puppet. So you can have a little, hello. And, yep. So let's see. These kind of projects would take about, I'm going to say about 5 hours to make and finish. And that's one reason why I don't sell them, because I would want to sell this for about $100, and that just seems ridiculously expensive. but they are time consuming, and you do have to pay really close attention to the patterns that you're working on, because otherwise they come out wrong. And one little stitch in amigurumi could just ruin the whole thing. All right, so now I'm going to go all the way up to the head and pull these through. And yes, I got away from making amigurumis because I hurt my hand, and then I broke my arm in 2 places because I got hit by a car, which is a whole story, which I will do in another feed or another live. Okay, so we are almost done. Grab this down here. And then I'm not going to embroider the face now because I need to look up some kind of pattern or template to decide how I'm going to do the face. So here he is. But he's cute. And then in some of the bigger amigurumis, I put weights in the bottom so that they can stand up, which is fun. Okay, let's just go like, oops, missed some over here. I appreciate each and every one of you who click on here, even if you stay for a few seconds. You're helping my channel grow, and I really am very interested in trying to make this a full-time thing, full-time career. If you like what you see, you can give me a thumbs up. That would be cool. Or you can ask me a question in the comments, or give me suggestions. Like someone asked if I could do a frog 9, and I can look into doing that. So yeah. Okay. So and then amigurumi, you can follow the same pattern and just use different size hooks. Thank you for joining me. I am just working on some projects to finish up that I have been putting off for various reasons. So here is Little Rabbit. I just got done fixing his ears on and his weaving in his ends. Look how cute he is. Hi. Say hi to me in the comments. So I don't really like his face too much. I put these in the wrong spot, so I'm going to take these out and reposition his face, his eyes and stuff. So he is done for now. And if you're just joining me, I'd finish this. And I finish this. And I am going to make this little turtle, but in a larger size. It's really small, and it's really hard for me to crochet these little tiny stitches, but look how small those are. He doesn't have a face either, but All right, so now we have this rabbit. We're going to pull his stuff in. And thank you for joining. I am finishing up some amigurumi style little toys here. I'm just weaving in the ends with my hook. And it's really tightly crocheted, so I can't get the hook in. Okay, there we go. Got the hook in. Okay. Normally when I have the yarn out like this, the kitties, I have 3 cats come up here, but they are all sound asleep. And I would change my screen, but I can't do that because I guess it's locked. Okay, so this little guy here probably took me, I don't know, I'm going to say like 4 hours to make. And it's the same as this little guy, except I made his body a little bit bigger. And I did 2 different colors. So once you change colors, it makes it a little bit more difficult more challenging. I had a lot of my students wanted me to make a Spider-Man, and Spider-Man just seems so very, very involved. And I have a hard time working on things that small. All right, so we're going to snip this now, and we're going to turn him around. And there he is, a little rabbit. Hello. And all right, so we're going to put him aside. I'm going to have a little drink of my coffee here. All right, I'm going to make something with this red yarn. Wow, that looks really red. Okay. Okay. So you can watch and try and figure out what I'm going to make. Okay. And I can't change my screen. So some bad music for you. Okay. If you want to guess in the comments, you can try and guess what I'm making. Oh, I made a mistake. I don't know where you viewers are at. I'm here in lovely Phoenix, where it is incredibly hot out today. Looks beautiful out the window, but it's quite hot. Okay. Losing my thread here. All right. Oh, all right. So I made a bunch of these for the students, the 8th grade students at the school that I worked at for their promotion. And I put them on keychains and gave them as little, congratulations gifts for being promoted up to high school and as a goodbye gift. All right, let's see. We are almost done making this, and I wonder what this could be. It looks like, oh no, 1, 2. Oh, I already did that part. All right, wait a minute. Let's stick this in here. Okay. All right, so now we're going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm going to turn it over. It's a heart. The yarn is very pretty in person. Online, it looks like a neon red, but this is an apple red. And it's very pretty. And these little hearts work up really fast. And they are fun to make. They're pretty easy to make because you just, work all in one row. Okay. So as you could probably tell, I'm just kind of doing some random stuff, just learning how to do a live stream. And I thought, just what I kind of do in the afternoon anyway. I just crochet a lot. So I'm going to, I thought I would just kind of share with you what it's like to just sit around and crochet. And yeah, all right, these are different. This one. Okay, let's see. Just going to weave these ends in, and I keep all the little scrappy yarns because I use them for stuffing when I make amigurumis, and makes it nice and soft, and it's to pay for it. Okay, so we are almost done with our crochet heart here. If people are interested in doing live streams with me, we can do a crochet along where I can do little simple designs like this. Let me put that down so you can see. It's a nice little heart on my shirt like that. Okay, so you can see it. And then at the top, it's got a little fobby thing here so I can hang it. Okay, so did the heart. We finished sewing in the ends on the little rabbit here with his face to be redone, because look at that. We also finished weaving in the ends on this rabbit, who is made a little bit different. He has a tail. He needs his tail. And we made, we didn't make, but we finished this. Okay, so that's that. And I'm gonna sign off here in a couple of minutes. First, I'm gonna roll this ball up. I appreciate you stopping in. And in the future, I'll probably just have like one project going so that if you liked what you saw, if you didn't start at the beginning, you could always join, or not join, you could always watch it later on. So right now, all I'm doing is making a ball up to clean this up. And that's one of the things with crochet or with any kind of crafting. There's a lot of prep work and a lot of cleanup to keep things organized and neat. Otherwise, you end up with a mess. So we're coming up towards the end here. And no one asked me to make anything in the comments that I could make right on the fly, so I didn't do that. And I am going to say, do this little ball right here. Actually, what I'm going to do is make these little balls, and I'm going to hang them back here as a little decoration to kind of make the space a little bit more interesting to look at. And I like to ball up my yarn like this to keep it from getting too knotted up. And there's all kinds of little things that you can buy. Well, I don't know, little products that you can buy to help you with, roll up yarn and stuff. I just put it on my thumb, and then I just go around. And you need a lot of space in between. And you just roll it up, and then you have a nice ball of yarn that you can pull then from the middle. And sometimes, depending on the kind of yarn that you have, it's nice to go through when you're about halfway through the skein to ball it up so it doesn't get tangled. So this is Caron Simply Soft. This is an acrylic 4-ply weight yarn. It is very versatile. Acrylic means it's man-made. It is made to be put in the dryer. It is just wash and wear, just like regular clothes. It's very versatile, and it lasts a long time. It is not a natural fiber, so it is and can be quite warm. And it is not like your cotton or silk or even wool that can be very warm in the winter and cool in the summer. But when you're working with natural fibers, you have to kind of experiment with them because natural fibers will not hold their shape. So if you're making a garment that's meant to be a little bit tight fitting, you don't want to, oh, look at this mess. Ugh, this mess. You don't want to use a, you don't want to use a fiber that is not going to have some stretch to it. Does that make sense? I don't know. All right, so I'm just re-rolling this ball of yarn, and I'm going to actually, saw this on Pinterest. I'm going to just anchor these onto another thing of yarn and then just dangle it from the ceiling as just some decoration so that my background looks a little bit better. This is a blanket that I made a while ago. Yes, it did take an incredibly long amount of time. And it was every color at that time of yarn that I had used. I've made a great deal of blankets and have given them away. This blanket, there's more of it in the background. It's all Caron yarn, Caron. Anyway, each color was used in a project, and I have made many more blankets that I've given away. Most of the stuff I give away. It's the joy of crochet, is that it is a gift from the heart, because crochet takes a really long time to make, and it's not like knit that you can buy in a store and that can be done on a machine. Crochet has to be done by hand, and it is very time consuming. And if someone is making you a gift from crochet, that means they really love you and care for you, and it is an expression of your love to give a gift like that to somebody. So, yeah, I got a little bit crazy with the yarn here. And so this is like scrap yarn, so I don't feel bad cutting it. And that's what I'm going to do. And one of the cats has woken up, because cats have incredibly good hearing, and they heard the yarn moving. So I don't know. One of them might jump up here and attack my yarn, but we'll see. Anyway. So I also finished a mesh shirt that I made, and it is one of my shorts that says, should I make this? And I did make it, and I still have to make it into or do a little shorts update on it. But today's experiment, or today's learning, is going live. So that is my little project for today, is learning how the live feed works and all that, because I'm very new to doing things on YouTube as a creator. I love YouTube. I don't even have, as you can see, my TV is covered with a blanket. Most of my entertainment is from YouTube. Anyway, I'll show you some. Oh my God, it's just too much. Okay, I don't want to do this anymore. So I'm going to put these that I just made into this bag. And cut these off. Boop. So here's my bag, one of these. I have so much yarn, it's not even funny. Yeah. So the shirt that I made it with this gorgeous, really, really soft yarn. The pattern called for a super chunky, and I have never made anything from a super chunky. So it was a learning experience. And I'm not allowed to buy any more yarn per my own rule, because I have too much yarn as it is. So this yarn, and you can do this with any yarn actually. You could take a chunky like this and then put two together, and now it's a super chunky. And that makes your substituting of yarns easier. So I'm just going to roll this up. And again, I appreciate people popping in. And if you've asked me questions in the comments and I haven't answered, it's because I do not know how to do a live stream yet properly where I can see the comments. But please know that I do read the comments, and I do take suggestions from subscribers. What I'm doing here is the pattern that I just did. I had to use two strands at one time, and I'm done with that project, so I'm just going to separate these back out into single strand, and I might make a love bear with this gorgeous red yarn. And he's going to be like one of these little guys, but he'll be a bear, and he'll be much bigger, because this, I think I used a size 4 hook, and this I'm going to use a 6.5. And yeah, so that's something I'm doing. And the focus of today's stream is just sharing with you how I spend my afternoon, finishing up some things, and also just learning how the live feed works. So I see that I have people watching, and one person watching is important, so thank you for being here. So I'm going to keep going until I get 0 for more than a minute or so, and then I'll probably log off. Oh, now we're at 0. So let's see how long that is. And I love crafting. I learned how to crochet about 50 years ago. And I have ADHD, and at the age of 60, just recently actually diagnosed with it. And this was a perfect kind of a project for someone who has that to work on, because it takes a lot of, or to learn, it takes a lot of effort to first learn to crochet, especially when you're that young. And so it was great. So I've been doing this my whole life, with stretches where I didn't do it because life got busy. So yeah. So right now what I'm doing is I'm just finishing up some projects and separating out this yarn from being a double strand for a project that I just finished that I'll be doing a shorts video on maybe this afternoon. Well, sorry, afternoon, but maybe later on today. And thank you for popping in. I have 2 people now. This is great, because you know what? Each individual person matters. So I appreciate the 2 people who are watching for however long you decide to stay. I'm aware this isn't too exciting to watch right now, but it's all a learning process. And sometimes it's better to just jump into things and learn as you go. Sometimes you can't wait until you know everything. If I learned everything on YouTube, if I waited until I was confident on every single thing I needed to do to make a really good live stream, it would take me probably a couple years or so. Anyway. All right, so now we got this kind of separated out. Now I'll show you how to make a ball. Not that exciting or difficult. Wrap it around 2 fingers, very loose. Keep your fingers separate, like that. Just go a couple times, do it loose. Put your fingers together, take it off your fingers. Take this string, put your thumb in there. Then you're just going to kind of go around your thumb, like this, and now you're making your own ball of yarn. I'm very frugal, which means that I like to think before I buy things, and I'm not going to buy some kind of contraption that's going to ball up my yarn for me when I could just do it myself like this. That's just how I learned. There's other techniques that you can use, but I find this to be the easiest. Balling yarn is not terribly exciting. I should say, in real life, this yarn is gorgeous. It's more of a cranberry. Here, it doesn't look very good. It looks really bright red. So, anyway. Okay. Almost done with this. And yeah, how long can I do this? I can do this, anything with crocheting I can actually do for hours. I'm on summer vacation now. I'm a substitute teacher here in Urban Phoenix. And I am partially disabled, so I don't work in the summertime. So I enjoy my summers off. So yeah, so. Okay, so now we're doing up the other pile. And I also have a TikTok called Mrs. Huffman. And I'm going to go over there and ask some of the kids who follow me. And when I say kids, it's I am a teacher, and I have students who follow me. I'm just going to ask them what I should make with this yarn. If I should make a little red bear, like this little amigurumi guy who's in process being finished, or a giant rose, or something for a stuffed animal to wear. I don't know. Okay. I put music on, but I don't know if I can have music in the background without having a copyright strike. So, yeah. Okay. All right, we're almost done with this ball of yarn. And we're going to put this in our bag. I like to keep everything sorted like this and neat so that it doesn't get covered with cat hair, cat fur, and also so that it doesn't fall apart easily. Okay, so if you're just joining, you can put something in the, oh, notice me. Oh, I'm sorry. Can you do a frog? And then someone says, notice me. Hi. I can't see your name because I have to stick my face too close to the camera. Yes, thank you for joining the stream if you're still here. I'm learning this, so I apologize if you're gone and I didn't get to say hi to you. I appreciate you popping in and watching. This is not the most exciting live stream, but I appreciate each and every one of you, as do my little guys here. Yay! When I was in school, when I was in 5th grade, I had my first craft show, and I made little things. This is before amigurumi, the term was even created. It's just a play on origami, but made with yarn. And I would sell little stuffed animals at school. It was kind of fun. All right, here's a little, I don't know how to move my messages, so hopefully, yeah, I don't know. Here's a little heart that I made. Put that there. Okay. All right. So, let's see. Okay, we're going to do one more ball of yarn. And people seem to still be watching, so that's good. This is a nice baby blue yarn. In real life, it's a little bit lighter. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, it's Caron yarn. I'm pretty much devoted to Caron. And yeah, so actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to crochet a flower here. And yep. Okay. So what I'm going to do is make a smaller rose. And actually I'm going to switch hooks. It's probably going to be too small. My hooks next to me. Where to put my hooks? Where's my hooks at? Okay. Oh, all right. Okay, so I have hooks that are as big as this, 50. This is for macrame or rope. Find a whole pattern on how to make yourself a hammock for outside. And I am not in good lighting, and I'm sorry that you have to look at bad lighting. This is I don't know what this is, but it's pretty big. And they come different sizes. So the little turtle guy that was just up here, I think I made with something like this. And this is so that it's easier on your hands. So I'm going to find this hook. Put all this away. Okay. And I told myself that I would stay on as long as even one person is watching. So it seems pretty consistent with one person watching at all times. Oh, now we have nobody. So let's see how long it stays blank. And what I'm doing now is a foundation chain. I'm going to just make a little rose for somebody. And actually, I'm listening to Alice in Wonderland and retelling of it that is for adults, not for children. So, hey, thank you for joining. I am making the first 2 rows of a crochet heart. And I'm doing a technique where you can do both rows at the same time, which is pretty cool. And it's just going to be a little flower, a little rose as a gift for somebody, or something like a little pin. Crochet is a nice project to have. It's very relaxing. There are many, many stitches that you can do, or different projects that you can work on actually while you're watching TV. This is not one of them, but for those of you who like to do 2 things at one time. So, oops. And crochet, like I said before, cannot be made on a machine. It is something that has to be done by hand. And if you could find anything in a store that's crocheted, please, unless it's a thrift store, please know that if you find anything in a store that's crocheted, that has not been made responsibly. That was made in another country, probably by a child, making, pennies per hour, because this is very time-consuming work. And yeah. And not lately, but I see a lot of videos on people saying how fast they can crochet, which is fun to be able to crochet fast. But actually, the joy of crochet is not doing it terribly fast, but doing it while you're thinking of somebody, while you're making it, and just taking your time and enjoying it. And it is, just very soothing and relaxing. All right, so I made this row here, and that was kind of cool because I did a chain row and then a single crochet at the same time. So that's pretty cool. Time saver. So now I'm going to change the color. This is green in real life, so it's supposed to look a little bit like the part of the flower, the leafy part, but the camera makes it look blue. So not much I can do about that. Now I'm going to put on, let's go back down here. I'm just kind of making this up as I go along, so my chain here isn't terribly long, so it's going to be a very small flower. So I did a single crochet. Now I'm going to do, all right, now I'm going to do a double crochet. I'm going to do a triple crochet. And I'm going to do a chain one. That just will help this double crochet lay better, maybe. Yeah. And I'm going to actually take that out. And I'm going to take that out too. I'm just going to do a couple. All right, so we're going to do, oops. Oh, that's because this is kind of unraveled. I don't know why, it's kind of annoying. All right, so we're going to do a single crochet and a three double crochets into the same stitch. I don't expect that anyone's crocheting with me in the future. If someone wants to crochet with me, that'd be pretty cool. We can have a crochet along. I would point my camera the other way so you can actually see what the heck I'm doing. So anyway, here we go. I don't even know how well this is going to come out. It's just good practice too. And it is, I don't know. I've been talking for a while, which is pretty easy for me. I talk a lot, but not usually to myself. And I do not know how to move my messages up. So that's something I have to learn how to do. And so I can't really respond to people, I don't think, unless that's all the messages I got. I don't know. So I have this new hook, which is kind of a weird, I don't know. It's kind of weird where I put my hand. So anyway. And I'd like to put some music on, but I genuinely don't know if I can have music on in the background. You know, unless it's some kind of copyright free kind of a situation. I don't know how that works. Okay, so it is coming up on, wow, it's almost been an hour. All right, I think I just said that. Okay, it's coming up on an hour, and then I'm going to sign off because my back is hurting from sitting too long. And yeah, all right, so we are almost done with this little guy. I don't know how well he's going to come out, but we're almost done. And if someone could put some, I don't even know how I would find out, but if someone could put something in the comment so I can see if this moves up. I should have had one of my kids log in, but they are all working. So anyway. Okay, so now we're going to do our last little thing, then I'll show you how to roll it up. So it could look kind of like this. This is huge. This would be like a cabbage rose. And this is going to be a much smaller rose. So, and one of my cat's names is Rose, and she keeps looking at me. Like, why do I keep saying her name? Yeah. Now she's pretending like she's not paying any attention to me, but I know she is. All right, so we are done with this. And I am going to go like that. Cut this. And pull that. All right, so now we're going to roll this up. Doesn't look like much now, but let's see what happens when we roll it up. So we're going to go this way. And the secret to doing this kind of pattern is you roll it up stitch to stitch. I'm sorry. So I put the green on because it's so much easier to see, so the patterns don't have you do that. And, oh, no, that looks bad. That's all right. Okay, so let's try this again. Okay. I can't get this to roll up right. Okay. This is a different style than this big one that I just made, so this is more like a little bud, I don't like it. I don't think it came out right. I think I should not have put a stitch there. So now I'm going to do something that some people might not like. But this is what happens a lot of times when you make something and you don't want to waste the yarn. So I'm just going to take this apart. And if you crochet after a while, you should be able to take your yarn apart, I'm sorry, your project apart, without there being any knots or anything. This is just really just all a very long slip knot until you get to the very beginning. Then there should be like a little knot. So I took that apart. I'm gonna roll this up so it doesn't get all crazy and messy. And we're coming up, well, I got about 2 more minutes, 3 more minutes, and then I'm gonna sign off. And then I'm gonna go lay down on an ice pack because my back hurts. And this little part, roll this up. I appreciate anyone who popped in or anyone who watches this later on. I am learning. This is my second live feed. I tried to make it so that I was doing one project, but people don't stay for the whole thing, so that seemed kind of, kind of moot. So here's my heart I made. I appreciate everyone being here. And at some point, I'm going to have a giveaway so that anything that I make online, you can, you have to be a subscriber first, and then it's like a random drawing, and then you can win a prize, and it could be something as small as this, or it could be something like this, this snake, this amigurumi snake. He's not finished yet. Or it could be, a scarf or a hat or something, or the big cabbage rose. So I didn't get 1 like today, and you don't have to like this if you don't want to, but it would be nice if I could get a like. And I know that affects people's feeds, so you might not want to like this because you don't want to get other stuff from me, ha ha ha. But it would be nice. That's all right, if you don't though. Okay, got to put some there, and then there. All right, well, I'm going to sign off because I don't have anyone following me right now or anyone watching. So thank you so much. I'm sorry about the camera angle and the unattractive, unflattering lighting that I'm in. Oh, my God. So if I sit back here, it's better. All right, so person who just logged on, I am going off here. Sorry. You can come to Crocheting into Retirement and watch some of my short videos. Or you can watch me tomorrow, because I'll probably do another live feed. I might even do one later on today. All right, thank you. I appreciate each and every one of you. Have a fabulous evening. And I don't know, oh, right here on the X. Okay, goodbye. I'm sorry, person who just came back on. I'm sorry, but I'm going off right now. Oh, 2 people. Okay, well, if you give me a likes up, I'll stay on, and I can crochet a heart for you or something else. But I don't see the like button, so I'm going to say I'm going to go because it's been almost an hour and I am tired. Goodbye.